Hey everyone, this is Heidi from the blog Hands Occupied with another knitting video tutorial for you. In this one, we're going to tackle a knit lace edging called the English Garden edging, accomplished with a whole bunch of different knit 3-togethers, purl 2-togethers, working through the back loops. This ambitious edging is a great way to take your knitting truly to the next level. To work the English Garden edging stitch, you're going to need to cast on 14 stitches. So on the needle here are those 14 stitches, and we're going to work a repeat of 8 rows to make this beautiful lace edging. So we're going to start with a slip 1 and then knit 2 stitches together, making sure to use our working yarn and not our tail. All right, then we're going to yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, and knit 1. Then we're going to yarn over, knit 1, yarn over. And this is probably the hardest part of row 1. We're going to knit 1, yarn over, and knit 1, all in this next stitch. So there's the knit 1, yarn over, and knit 1, and only now after we've done all 3 of those loops, we'll sweep that stitch off the end of the needle. Then we're going to yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 1. Then we're going to do a double yarn over, so 1, 2 yarn overs, and we'll end by knitting 2 together and knitting 1 to complete our first of 8 rows. And now turning our work to the wrong side, we just have easy knit and purls for row 2. So we're going to knit 3, and that third of the knit 3 is into the double yarn over, so you'll knit 1 but leave the second loop of the yarn over on the needle. Then we'll bring the yarn to the front and purl the other half of that double yarn over. And then knit 1 before we purl 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we'll knit 1, purl 5, and end our second row with a knit 1. And we'll turn back to the right side for row 3. Now with our yarn in the front, because what we're doing with the first stitch of all these right side rows is creating a chain edging that you can later work more stitches into. So we're going to slip with yarn in front to help create that chain. So slip 1, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit. So that was just like the first row so far. Then we'll knit 1, and we'll do a yarn over and knit 3 separate times. So there's the first one, the second yarn over, knit 3, and the third yarn over, knit 3. All right. So then we will yarn over, knit 1, yarn over twice, knit 1, yarn over twice, and end row 3 with a knit 2 together and a knit 1. So that third row is really characterized by the repeats of the yarn over, knit 3 times, and then the 2 sets of stitches with double yarn overs. Now for row 4, the halfway point, we'll switch to our wrong side and we'll start by knitting 3 stitches and purling 1. Once, knit 2, knit 3, And that's a double yarn over, so again, don't forget to leave the second part of the double yarn over on your needle. And then you'll purl 1, knit 2, and just like before in the double yarn over, the purl 1 takes place in the second half of the double yarn over. And then we will knit 1, purl 5, and for the next stitch, we're going to do a whopping knit 3 together. So we have 3 loops that we're going to knit all 3 of those loops together as one stitch. And then we're going to end with purl 5, knit 1, and then purl 5, and knit 1. All right, so we're halfway there. And English lace can be quite a lot of work, if you haven't noticed in this video, but the resulting piece is very elegant and kind of old, otherworldly, and so it can have a very specific effect on your knitting if you decide to pursue incorporating it in your work. So for row 5, we're going to slip with the yarn in front again, forming that chain edge on the right side edge of our work. And then we will knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, knit 1. Then we'll do a yarn over, slip, slip, knit, knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over and knit 1, and then we'll yarn over, slip, slip, knit, knit 1, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1, and then we'll do a double yarn over and a knit 2 together 3 times. So that's the first of 3, double yarn over, knit 2 together is the second of 3, double yarn over, knit 2 together is the third, and we'll finish with an easy knit 1. And that's 5 rows in. Now for the 6th row, we'll start with a knit 3, and again, every time you come to that double yarn over, make sure to leave the second part of the yarn over on the needle. Then purl 1, and now we're going to do knit 2, purl 1 twice. So there's knit 2, purl 1, knit 2, purl 1. Then we will knit 1, purl 2 together, purl 1, and then we will do a purl 2 together TBL, which means through the back loop. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of fold your work in half, bring the needle back to front, and put your needles back into a normal position, forming that X, purl 2 together through the back loop. Then we will purl 1 and do a regular purl 2 together, purl 1 and do another purl 2 together through the back loop. Then we will knit 1, purl 5, and knit 1 before turning around to work row 7 of 8. So we're almost there through this repeat. All right, so like usual, we'll begin with a slip 1, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, slip, slip, knit, knit 1, yarn over, and now we will knit 3 together through the back loop. So for this, instead of coming through our loops this way, we'll go through just the back side of the loops and knit the 3 stitches together as 1. Then we'll knit 1 and do a regular knit 3 together, not through the back loops, through the front loops. And that creates this little, really beautiful little clustery circular pattern. And then we'll yarn over and knit 11. It's such a relief to just knit 11 stitches after all of these crazy through the back loops, purl 2, knit 3, and all that craziness. So this knit 11 is kind of a nice little break for us in this English lace pattern. And now we do the last row, which probably has the trickiest thing to understand conceptually in this lace, but one of the easier things to execute. So we're going to start by binding off 7 stitches. So this is like you would bind off any project, but it's only the first 7 stitches. So to do this, we're going to knit 2, pass the first stitch over the second, so that's 1 bound off, knit 1, pass the previous stitch over for 2 bound off stitches, and now there's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And one trick, if you lose count of how many stitches you bound off, is to count how many loops are here in your work. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is that tiny one. So that's just a little trick for success. Now, moving on with the rest of our row, we can knit 4, purl the next 3 stitches together, which will help solidify the circle on the right side of our work that I'll show you in just a second. Knit 2, purl 5, and finish with an easy knit 1. So looking at the anatomy of one repeat of this edging, again, there's this beautiful chain across the top that can be used for picking up stitches to work in the other direction, so this can be a lace edging, and this flappy little tail that those 7 bound off stitches helped form. Looking at a larger swatch here of this English garden edging lace stitch, you can see the baubles that I was referring to, and that's where all those crazy knit 3 together through the back loops and knit 3 togethers helped form the shape. And there are little shark's teeth of our lace edging formed with the bind off. That was how to do the English garden edging stitch. If you have any questions for us, don't forget to leave a comment and tune in again soon for more knitting video tutorials.